Happy hump day, y'all.
Welcome to the That's So Lame podcast. I'm Casey.
And I'm Molly. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Valentine's Day.
Yes,
Woo-hoo. I love Valentine's Day so much.
I do too.
I
Not
don't
because we really celebrate it a whole lot. Like we usually don't do anything because my birthday is right before it, but I like to buy myself candy.
I like tomorrow when the candy is half price.
Yes.
I just love, I think that's one of my favorite things of motherhood is celebrating all the holidays. And it doesn't have to be like this grand thing, just like little. I just got the kids a couple of candies. I made some raspberry buns, and it's just fun. I just like a little festivity in life.
Yes, my kids are the same way. We just had pancakes this morning for breakfast, but they were already asking last night, what are you making for Valentine's breakfast? Why do you think Valentine's is about you? Oh yeah, that's my fault.
Right. Well, I have 4 Valentines, I guess. All my boys. We are just staying home. It's Wednesday. I'm so glad it falls on a Wednesday because we don't have stuff after 6 p.m. tonight. So we get to actually have a nice dinner together. I'm going to go to the local meat shop and they have heart-shaped steaks. So I'm going to make those for dinner.
Cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we're all over the place tonight, so we're literally not doing anything.
Well, you can still have a little glass of wine with your man at some point in the evening.
I'm sure.
Maybe a little cheese and crackers. I would really love to get cheesecake, and I might go to the Cheesecake Factory and just buy a whole cheesecake.
Ooh, that sounds
Cheesecake's
delicious.
my favorite. I love it. Although we did also just get a crumble cookie.
Oh, yes. I love the crumble cookies. I bet they have something special for today, too.
Probably. I'm going to Google it and see like what they usually post their menu. Or they always have their menu. So,
Yeah.
I had the cannoli one like 3 weeks ago. The best crumble cookie you've ever had.
That sounds good. Have you ever had the grandma's cookie?
No.
It is really delicious, too.
Grandma's.
We don't get them very often, but I've had a decent.
Because they're a fortune?
I don't really think they're that expensive. I mean, if you eat a whole
What kind of
cookie,
rich woman are you?
I mean, we never eat a whole cookie. So
yeah.
we divide it into like 6 pieces and then everybody kind of tries a piece. But yeah, usually we get like the 4 tray and I think it's
okay.
$16 or $12.
$12 to $16 for 4 cookies is quite a bit.
It's a bit, but the cookies are huge.
But it's like
eating one cookie.
It's like a dozen cookies.
Yeah.
Truly. And I guess to get one specialty cookie is going to cost you at least $1. So
True.
Okay, fine. It's a special occasion anyways.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to eat the whole cookie, sure, it's a little expensive. But if you're,
if you're going to eat the whole cookie, you need to put in some miles on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Because those things have some calories in them.
For sure.
Says the girl who just polished off a bag of sour gummy worms.
It's okay. We all need sugar every now and then.
To be fair, it was only 3 in the bag. I polished off 3.
Well, that's good for you. I just finished a king size.
Look at us. What did you bring to the podcast?
I only ate one, but my
king size.
They're my favorite. All the Reese's holiday ones are just the absolute best. And if they don't have a holiday
is the word.
one out, then I get the big cup.
Because you like the higher peanut butter to chocolate ratio.
I like the peanut butter, yes. So delicious.
So at Easter, the actual egg Reese's, that I feel like is highest peanut butter to chocolate ratio. Is that correct?
I think the hearts are probably comparable. The Christmas trees are so-so. But I would say the hearts are comparable. The eggs are definitely delicious.
You know all the different Reese's. Reese's are not my favorite.
Oh my gosh. I don't understand how anyone cannot like chocolate and peanut butter together.
I mean, I like it. I like Reese's, but if I'm reaching for a piece of chocolate, it's definitely not that. And I much prefer Reese's Pieces to a peanut butter cup.
Really? I hate Reese's Pieces.
I love Reese's Pieces. And I think the peanut butter to chocolate ratio is too much. So I would never reach for the holiday one. I would always go for like the minis, those little ones that are in the bag that are like just a little bit of peanut butter in there. Those are the best Reese's, in my humble opinion.
Good to know. Good to know.
But I would probably go for sour candy above it all.
That is interesting. Very interesting. This
Mhm.
is something I didn't know about you. I mean, I knew you liked sour candy, and Whitney likes sour candy too.
She does. And I love chocolate. I've always been a huge chocolate fan. I think
Yeah.
more recently I've been a little more sour candy. I got myself a bag of Haribo, the sweet and sour hearts for
Yes.
Valentine's Day. Treat
One thing that
yourself.
I have been loving is I think they're sweet tart um, ropes, and they have like the cream middle in the inside. Or is that what they are?
Um, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they're the Good and Gather brand. Don't do it.
I like
They're
the
not
Good and
good.
Gather brand.
Oh no, the cream inside is just weird. So weird. I don't know.
Oh,
I think they taste like they're too hard. I know what you're talking about though. I can't remember what they are, but those are delicious.
yeah, really good. And when all else fails, I'm drinking my detox tea after I eat my chocolate.
Look at our mugs, our cute festive mugs. I haven't used this one. Cheers. Cheers, everyone, at your drink of choice. I am having coffee with white chocolate mocha Chobani creamer.
Yum, that sounds delicious.
It's new Chobani, and I still haven't found the cinnamon coffee cake. I've been to so many stores. I talked to the manager of one of the Myers here, and he was like, I know what you're talking about. We had it. They have a row. Everyone's got a row, and it doesn't have anything in it.
I'm sorry.
It's very soul sucking to go to all these stores and not find what I'm looking for. But I'll try. I'll keep trying.
I meant to look here for you, and I forgot.
That would have been convenient when Mom was here last weekend to
I
bring me
know.
some.
Now I'm like, I don't know how I give it to you.
That's okay. Well, I put Mom's purse in the mail. She left her whole entire pocketbook at my house, and I had to ship it back to her.
That's what she said. That's so funny.
But we had a fun little weekend with them, and they were able to see all three kids play in one day. Like the stars
Aw.
aligned, and they were able to see everybody play. So it was really fun.
So they actually stayed in a hotel the first night, right? To get
Yeah.
Was it Callan that played that one?
Callan, I drove 2 hours south for his
Oh my
tournament,
gosh.
and they met me there that morning.
Okay.
Brought me coffee, and then
Aw.
stayed for one of his games, came up and saw Lincoln, and then they saw Cooper, and then we drove up and met, and we had pizza and hung out, and then Sunday we had brunch, and then they left. It was a quick little trip, but it was really fun.
Good.
Yeah,
Aw, that's so fun.
it
I'm
was fun.
glad you guys had a good weekend.
It was. I couldn't find Mom at one point. I was like, where is she? And I came down to the basement, and Lincoln had challenged her to NFL Blitz, like the arcade game.
Oh my
And he
gosh.
was like, I'm crushing her. I'm like, I'm sure you are. But she was up there on the high stool having fun. So,
Oh, they're so funny.
oh, yeah, trying to stay young.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they get right in there with the grandkids, that's for sure.
Yep. Anything exciting happening in Ohio this week since I've last talked to you?
No, nothing major. Yeah, we had Owen had a basketball game this weekend, and I actually had a calendar faux pas. And I put his time in wrong, so I ended up having to do an open house and missed his game, so that was sad. But
I hate that.
he had a good game. Jared was able to take a lot of video for me and send it to me while I was gone.
That's good.
Yeah. So
Good.
and then Sunday we watched the Super Bowl and
Right. The Super Bowl happened since we talked last.
yeah. So all the conspiracy theories were out of the window except for the Chiefs winning, I guess.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. So here's my thoughts on that. I do feel like it was totally sus. They missed the extra point. They came back and won at the end. I did fall asleep because I really wasn't feeling well on Sunday. So I fell asleep on the couch watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But there have been a lot of things come out about the Chiefs owner and players and different people. And they all so many of them have been talking about their faith and about their relationship with God. And I was like, okay, maybe the Chiefs aren't as horrible as I thought they were. I just didn't want them to win because they win all the time. I really don't have any actual issue with anyone on the Chiefs, but I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's good. But let me tell you, Brock Purdy is my new favorite football player.
Okay. Okay.
I think I'm going to be a Brock Purdy fan no matter where he plays. Did you hear his story?
Yes. Yeah. The kids, they fill me in on all the different things and players and yeah.
I just think that's so sweet. So like such a good He's a child, such a good
Yes.
child. So yes, that was my big takeaway from the Super Bowl, is learning about Brock Purdy. And um, yeah, kind of sad that the 49ers didn't win, but
I know. I
this is
know.
life.
Yeah. We were definitely rooting for them because they have two Ohio State or former Ohio State players.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it was disappointing, but it was a good game. I thought it was a little boring until overtime, but it was a good game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, at least it wasn't one of those games that was just a complete runaway, because those are kind of
yeah,
not fun.
definitely what the championship game should look like. So
Yes. Yes. They both played extremely well.
yeah,
Would you like to hear something wild that happened to me 2 days ago?
absolutely.
Okay. I am asleep. It is approximately 4:30 in the morning. This was Monday night, so I'm still fighting a cold, and my germaphobe husband refused to sleep in the bed with me, so he's on the couch. So at 4:30 in the morning, I hear our door chime go off, like our exterior door was open. I fly out of the bed, and then I'm like, oh, I can't go downstairs because that's where the robber is. And also Billy's down there. So I call him, and I'm like, I just heard the door chime. Someone's in our house. And he flies off the couch and he looks out our front door, and he's like, there's someone walking down the street. And I'm like, I'm calling the police. I gotta call the police. And he's like, hold on. Let me just go look in the basement. But I think we should call the police. So he goes to the basement, and I'm like, and you're about to die. You are about to die. Someone is in our house. What am I going to do with no husband? Like, you think all these things so quickly.
Yeah.
And so he goes to the basement, and I hear like thudding and looking around. And I'm like, Billy, are you okay? Should I call the police? I'm like, okay, just calm down and go check on the kids. I'm like, check the kids, because he's okay. Go in Cooper's room. Cooper is not there.
Oh my gosh.
My heart sinks. I'm like, Cooper's been kidnapped. He's been kidnapped. And he's being drugged down the street. So I'm like, don't call the police. Don't call the police. And I called on Billy. Billy's not here. Cooper's not in his bed. I'm like, did my kid sneak out? Why would you sneak out at 4:30 in the morning? Oh my God, I'll call Cooper. He answers, yo. I said, what are you? Where are you? What are you doing? I'm going to lift. I'm like, excuse me? And yeah, I'm going to lift at the neighbor's house. And I was like, Cooper, you get your butt back home. I almost called the police on you.
Oh my gosh.
That last summer, he used to wake up at like 5 a.m. and work out in the
Yeah.
mornings. That was like he likes to get up early and work out. So this isn't like completely crazy
Normal,
activity.
yeah.
But I'm like, it's a school night. You went to bed at like 9 o'clock last night. You do not need to be waking up at 4 something in the morning. And you cannot be walking down the street in the dead of night and expect to not get shot or something. Like, neighbors are going to call the popo on you.
You don't live in the hood or anything.
Well, no, we don't. But I'm like, I would be suspicious of someone. And he looks like a big man. And he's walking down the street with his backpack on. You
And
know,
probably his hoodie up.
yeah, his workout backpack, and with his basketball in it, because they have a basketball court inside. He's cat sitting for the neighbors, and they told him, you can use the gym or the basketball court or whatever. And so
Oh
he's
my-
like, oh, I can go there anytime. He literally took it anytime as anytime. I'm
Oh my-
going over at 4:30 in the morning to get 2 hours of workout in before school. I'm like, okay. So we had to tell him 5 a.m. is the earliest you are allowed to get up. And even then, this morning, he woke me up at 5 a.m. going,
Oh
at
my
least
God.
I knew it was him breaking out of the house and not a robber breaking into the house. But yeah, I had years of life off of me that night, because I truly thought someone was in our house.
Oh
And
my
it was
gosh.
about to go down for real.
Oh,
Anyway,
well, hey, he's committed, man. He is committed.
the kid is committed to his 2-hour workout every single day. I mean, maybe I would look like him if I worked out for 2 hours a day as
Right.
well, but
We're
I
kind
don't
of
have the
missing
time.
the testosterone factor, I think.
This is true. And the amount the kid eats.
Yeah.
Anyway, I definitely had to dye my hair yesterday to cover up the extra grays that grew overnight. So I haven't slept well in the last 2 nights because of said situation. That's why I called you this morning and said, I need to take a power nap before we talk, because I'm tired. So yeah, that's what happened. That's my wild story. And now I have had 2 police-ish encounters in the last few weeks.
Girl, you got to get your life straight.
I know. Do I want to end up in jail or shot? That's Eminem's song. Also, I rapped the whole Eminem Lose Yourself song in the car driving to Sonic this week, and my kids were thoroughly impressed with me.
I bet. That is
Mm-hmm.
impressive.
Yep. I own that song.
Oh, you're so funny.
Ugh. Okay, sorry. I gotta stop sipping my coffee because it's creating long, awkward uh, pauses, but it's so good. We should discuss. Oh, let me close this out. I can't see my timer anymore. Where's my timer? I have no idea. Oh, there it is. We should discuss what we came here to discuss. Carol, what is our topic of discussion on this beautiful, sunny Valentine's Day, 2024?
Marriage madness.
Which I said should be more a topic for March, but we're gonna roll with it.
We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it.
It's about the love.
Love train, love train.
We had thought this through. We should have probably brought our husbands on here, but
Oh, that would have been good.
maybe we can do their version of the story at some point. Maybe we should just give it
Yeah.
to them and they can do their version.
Or we can do a Marriage Madness Part 2 in March.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds really good. I should tell everyone how organized Carol is. And she is like Google spreadsheets and stuff with all the details where I'm just like, tell me where to show up. Here I am.
Okay, well, we've been at this for what, 5 months now? Has it been 5 months?
Have we really? Look at us go.
I think so, or 4 months at least. So I figured we got to start getting a calendar. You know how I am. I'm the OCD organizer.
That's the truth.
Like, we need a calendar, we need a plan, we need to, think this out in advance. So, yeah.
Yes.
We're hoping to be more organized for you guys. Congratulations.
Organized girlies in 2024. You already are. I'm going to try to get on your level. All right. So, marriage madness. Shall we start with how we met our spouses?
Yeah.
I think you should go first since you're the oldest.
Okay. So I met my husband Jared at church.
In the year of our Lord Jesus Christ. You don't know.
2001?
2001?
Yeah, because we got married in 2002.
Okay, proceed.
Yeah. And we were just having this conversation with Avery a couple days ago about, she said, how long did you know each other before you got engaged? We were like,
5 minutes. Okay, sorry. Continue. Go on with your story.
Yeah, so I met you at church, and we had mutual friends, so we had just kind of started hanging out together in groups and going out to dinner and stuff like that. And then we started dating around October of that year and got engaged on Christmas Day, 2001. And then we got married June 15th, 2002. So it was a whirlwind.
It was a quick whirlwind.
Yes.
We will have to dive a little deeper into the extent of our childhood. Like, I don't know. We were not allowed to date as children. That kind of plays into this whole quick relationship thing. We were allowed to court.
Yes.
So, before any relationship began, there was a conversation with your father about the relationship.
Not in my case.
Wait, what? You started dating him? No, you didn't. I mean, y'all were like talking, but Dad was. If you started dating in October and got married or got engaged in December, he had talked to Dad.
Well, yeah, Dad had met him, but yeah, we were like already going out and stuff with friends and stuff like that before.
Yes, but you weren't alone because you were not allowed to be. I was your chaperone. Yes, I was your chaperone. My favorite story from your dating years is from Halloween 2021. We were at the roller skating rink, and it was kind of the first time Jared was hanging out with our family, I feel like one of the first times in October.
Yeah, probably.
And I knew he hated germs, but I still licked all the frosting off of a cupcake, and then I handed it to him in the dark, outside on the way out, and he ate it. And then I told him I licked the whole top of it, and I thought he was going to die. But I was like, you know what? If you want to get in this family, you're going to have to get with me. Like, you need to know what you're getting into. I'm the sister. I will always be here to annoy you. And I continue to do my
Like
job.
mortified.
Ta-da!
I
Yep,
continue to do my job.
I do. I continue to do my job.
Oh my.
I have actually given him as a gift, I think, his two youngest children. I've done my job in
At least Avery. At least
helping you become intoxicated so that you could have another baby. Yeah, I bring the party. I do.
yeah, Avery was conceived over White Russians, that's for sure.
White Russians. That was my first alcoholic drink. When I was 3 weeks away from 21, mind you. I was shocked by the year because I met Billy in 2002. I didn't realize we were so close in meeting our people.
Yeah, I remember it being fairly close.
The first time I hung out with Billy, we went with you to the mall to shop for bathing suits for your honeymoon.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, I met Billy also at church, same church as Casey. And we started talking a little bit in the spring, but I was actually with somebody else at that time. And then I was not with that somebody else anymore. And then so we actually started really talking in the fall of 22. No, not 22. In the fall of 2002.
Yes.
We got engaged in July of 2003, and we got married December of 2005. So we were
I
engaged.
didn't realize it was that long.
We were engaged for quite a while. I was in nursing school.
Yes, I remember
and we were definitely broke. We were broke as a joke. So I was in school, I worked at Starbucks. Billy was working. And once I graduate, because I didn't graduate until, gosh, I don't even remember, 04. And then we got engaged in 05. I mean, married in 05. Yeah. So our relationship happened quickly from like meeting and then getting engaged. But then we were engaged for a while.
Yes.
So, and now this is our 22nd Valentine's Day together.
Nice.
I think. Yeah, I think. I don't know. It's been a lot. Yes. So that's our love story. I feel like there's a lot more nuance in it all than that just brief little timeline, but it is pretty amazing how a boy from Ohio and a boy from New York ended up at a church in Florida and swept these Southern belles off our feet.
Yeah.
And now we're both living in the North like crazy pants people.
Right. Couldn't we have had the correct influence on them to go south?
I mean, we really didn't put up enough fight, did we?
No.
All right. Ready to answer this question?
Okay.
What keeps the love ticking in your relationship?
Probably like date nights. We've really gotten better about making those a priority, whether it's, once a month or every other week, or I'd love for it to be once a week, but it definitely doesn't happen once a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like catching up with each other on a one-on-one instead of just circling around the tornado of life.
Yes. Yeah, that one-on-one connection is hard once you have children, and I think date nights are so important. And also learning what each other needs and wants.
Yes. Yep.
And I'm not very good about that because Billy's love languages are 1,000% not mine. And at one point I had an alarm in my phone every day to text him to tell him thank you for working so hard for our family. And then eventually he was like, you text me every day at 4 o'clock. I'm like, I'm trying to tell you thank you for working hard. I'm trying to give you words of encouragement, which I don't want to hear. Like, don't talk to me. But I'm trying. But then it was really fake and weird. So I quit texting.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Yeah,
Please,
we were like
yeah, try.
going back over the five love languages in church on Sunday.
Oh,
We were talking to everybody about it at our house. I'm bad about words of affirmation too. I told Jared that. Like, I'm bad about that because
giving or receiving?
giving. Yeah, because my love language is definitely acts of service.
So is mine. And Billy says his is not doing acts of service.
That always makes me crack up when he says that.
Oh my gosh, he says it all the time. He has become a lot more helpful though. Like I think as the kids get a little older and it's not as much like when they were little, I feel like that the little kid task is a lot more innate for a woman. Is innate
Yeah,
the word? Like it's in her nature to be like a caregiver, generally speaking, in those little years. And
yeah,
now that they're older, I feel like he plays a lot bigger role in with their lives and with like helping me and stuff and encouraging them to help as well. Like if someone empties the dishwasher for me, whew, load the dishwasher. Lord have mercy. Billy knows what he needs to do on Valentine's Day, that's for sure. Um, yeah, but I definitely still, after being married for it'll be 19 years this year, I still could be better about his love language. Like
yes, me too.
I feel like it's something that like in my head, like I need to do this, I need to do this, and in my heart, I need to do this, but I'm like the execution is not always there. So this is a good reminder to me to look at those ways that people feel loved because I can make him all the food in the world and that doesn't make him feel loved.
Right, right.
Like not like that kind of way that he needs it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
much like me emptying the dishwasher does nothing for him. But if he
Well,
does it for me,
I don't make Jared food, nor do I give words of affirmation. So
what is his love language?
Physical touch and words of affirmation. He loves me to scratch his arm while we're like watching TV at night or something like that, and I'm pretty good about that. Definitely more now that I'm not touched out by the kids by the end of the night. You know, when they're
Right.
little and you're doing nothing but holding and loving and kissing and hugging and you know, the kids all day, then I'm like, I don't want to be touched.
I know. Yeah.
So I'm much better about that now, I feel like. But yeah, the words of affirmation is not my strong suit because it's not my love language. So
Right. Yeah, I really feel uncomfortable when people say positive things. Like I don't mind like thank you for making dinner or whatever. But like to to praise me as a human or to praise things I'm doing, I just want to curl inward and I feel so uncomfortable. I hate when people say
yeah,
like positive things about me and it's like it's okay. Like it's okay. Be grateful people are saying nice things about you, but it's very uncomfortable to me.
yeah. No, I agree. I'm kind of the same way with that. So
I don't think I realized how similar we were in this sense because we're so dissimilar in other senses.
right, like our actual personality is very opposite, but yeah.
You know what I was realizing now that we've been doing the video? There are moments that I'm like, this doesn't make any sense if you're just listening. You know, like we got to be careful about not just doing faces and throwing up the peace sign because if people are just listening while they're doing their dishes and loading their dishwasher, they'll be
Yeah.
like, what just happened? Why are these girls laughing?
True. Very true.
Something to think about. All
Um,
right. What else do we have on our agenda? Our
um,
marriage madness.
how do you fight and how do you make up?
Um, I do you want me to answer this?
Yeah, you go first on this one.
Well, we fight very differently. Billy likes to solve it, get to the bottom of it, have everyone apologize and move on. I like to go to my bedroom, shut the door, and not speak to anyone for 2 days.
So your mom.
Casey!
Well, that's how mom fight.
I know, I know. I don't like yelling. I don't like loud. I don't like fighting in general. I have always been uncomfortable around fighting. I don't like fighting or arguing. Like being in a debate would just be the worst nightmare for me. I don't want to fight. I don't want to argue. I'll just walk away. And I have an amazing ability to just be silent for days. I could just never speak to the person that bothered me. And I'm not even like that pissed off, like whatever. I'll just like, whatever. Move on. Said to me. Yeah, it's not really that healthy at all. So I could really do better in that. Um, much better. Billy is a much better apologizer than I am.
Yeah.
Yesterday, yesterday, I don't even remember what we got in like a little tiff about yesterday morning I don't even remember. And he came upstairs at one point and gave me hugs like, I'm sorry. And I was like, I'm not going to apologize. He said, I know you never do. Like, it's so true. I'm the worst.
Oh.
Because I'm right. Like, I'm always right. So why would I apologize?
I know. I am bad about that too, but I also feel like I'm right most of the time. So.
I am right most of the time. And by most, I mean 99.9%. So on the 0.1, I will apologize. I guess that's another thing I got to be better about. We should not give any advice. This is terrible. We're horrible. This is not an advice podcast. This is a therapy session amongst sisters that you are welcome to listen to. Please make note of this. Take with it what you will.
Jared and I both are kind of like hash it outers. We're not yellers or anything, but if we have something to say, then we'll just put it out there. So yeah, I don't know. About once a year, we have a good fight.
A good fight? Is that a thing?
Yeah, just like we'll just have. I mean, most of the time we're both pretty even-keeled people. Like we just go with the flow. You know, neither one of us are super, like strong-willed. I mean, I don't know. I'm strong-willed, but
you are one of the most strong-willed humans I've ever met.
Yeah, I'm strong-willed, but I'm not really super opinionated. You know, like I don't know. There's most things in our marriage I'm not that opinionated about.
Okay, I see.
Also, Jared's very laid back, so I just mostly make all the decisions. That's just how it's been for a while.
That's kind of how we are. I'm very laid back, and I actually hate decision making. I don't care most things at all. Like, just decide. I don't care. I don't want to decide. So Billy makes a lot of the decisions. Like, I'll give an input. If I have an input, I'll give it. Yeah. And I used to not. I have gotten better. I used to be silent. Even if I wanted something, I would never do it because I am not a feather ruffler. And that actually ruffled a lot of feathers in our marriage because I wouldn't say what I was feeling. And then I would show it in, you know, the situation that ensued. And then, it would be negative. So I have grown up a bit and I have been learning how to speak up when I do have an opinion. So it's not often that I do speak up, but when I do, it's because I feel something. Yeah. But generally speaking, I'm fine with Billy making the decisions, which makes life a little bit easier when there is a person willing to just kind of like, you make the decision, you go for it. So where you have a couple people that are very strong-willed and want to decide, that's, I think, where the issues
I would say we're the opposite of you. So I'm the more like decision maker and Jared's just laid back. And I mean, I know when he puts his foot down about something, I better not push it, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
So I'm the worst about saying I'm sorry. Jared's definitely better about saying he's sorry than I am.
So if both of us are the worst about saying we're sorry, is this a childhood issue?
Probably.
I mean, not that our parents did anything wrong. Is this just like, you go through all these things in childhood that make you who you are as an adult, and like what kind of. My mom was asking me that the other day, like, did we really fight a lot? Do we scream a lot? And I told her, you always tell me that I blocked out all the negative parts of childhood. And I really do think I'm just such a positive Polly. I only remember the good stuff. I really do. I think I blocked out a lot. I only remember a couple big family arguments, and I don't remember screaming really at all. I just remember a couple big arguments, and it ended with eating Wendy's Frosties. So what's the harm there? Why was the fight bad? I don't know. Maybe that's the problem, that I just view every argument as something that's going to end in chocolate, so it's okay. It's not a big deal. That's what childhood taught me. Yes. So I think we perceive things differently, and both of the perceptions can be right. There's
Yeah.
like the same experience can be perceived in totally different ways for different people.
Yeah.
And I think that that is important too in a marriage. Like, two things can be true. I'm a big believer in that. I'm a big believer that the world is not black and white. It is gray. Like, there is something can happen and people experience it differently than other people. People
Yeah,
view things
definitely.
differently. And I think that that is a hard thing because Billy is a lot more black and white. And I'm a lot more like, la 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 la. There's flowers everywhere. And I think that can cause some chaos in our relationship sometime because
Yeah.
there's right and there's wrong. And I'm like, but there's also the middle of the road. I don't know. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think a lot of that comes with age too. Like you just start to see things through a different viewpoint when you've experienced more things in your life, I guess.
Yes, this is true. This is true. So, how do you make up? Since you don't say sorry, what would you eventually do to rectify the fight?
um, well, usually Jared says sorry and then we just move on.
Oh my gosh, we are the same human.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. If I
Wait,
am wrong, then I will say sorry eventually. So,
sometimes I text instead of actually say it because it's easier for me to admit fault through a text than through my actual mouth. I don't.
mommy. Well,
What?
bad about that too, I guess.
At least it's something. You're not even saying sorry at all. Okay, this week, let's commit to each other that we are going to apologize
Swiftly.
swiftly. And maybe, but what if I'm really not wrong? I don't want to apologize if I'm not wrong. But maybe
Well,
my favorite apology is I'm sorry you feel that way.
I'm sorry
I'm
your feelings are wrong.
I'm sorry that you have issues. Um man, I'm really just a gem of a wife, aren't I? Um okay, this week I'm going to apologize swiftly. How am I going to remember to do that?
Make that note in your phone. Every day at 4 o'clock.
I'll just send I'm sorry for anything I did today to piss you off. Here's a hug. Here's your physical contact. Oh, my snaps. Oh, man. Yes. Okay. So I do think that that probably is something I should do. Okay. All right. Dang, this really is therapy. This is not fun. I could be
Okay.
watching The Crown right now instead of going to therapy.
You could be, but this is so much better for you.
This is so good. I'm evolving as a human. This is my 40th year of life, and I am entering the next decade with a lot of therapy via podcast.
Okay, so do you guys have any favorite things that you like to do together?
Well, boating and surfing were always our like favorite hobby together when we lived in Charlotte, and we would do a lot of date nights on the boat. So
Yeah,
that was fun. Here we don't have quite as much, like the weather really limits you. We love to walk, so we walk as much as we can, but like it's 20 degrees outside today. So I just yes, you can bundle up, but that's not fun to me
I
to go
know.
freeze my nose and my ears and all that. Um, we like walking. We love going on a vacation. And we have made a point this year. We haven't planned anything for this year yet, but I think 23, this will be our 8th year in a row, if we can get something planned, that we have gone away, just the two of us.
That's awesome.
So that's been something that like this is really important. I don't want to get to be an empty nester and not want to go on vacation with my husband, not want to be,
Yeah,
not know who he is or what he likes or whatever. So that is something that we committed to years ago. And it's usually just a weekend somewhere. And sometimes it's been for work, but it's just like, just no kids, we're in a hotel room service, just like relaxing and being together. So that has been very positive for our relationship for sure.
That's good.
But
We have not been very good about that, but we're working on it.
y'all went away last year, right?
2 years ago for our 20th anniversary.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are your couple hobbies?
We both enjoy working out. We don't work out together as much now because our schedules just don't really align to do that too often. But we do like to walk when the weather gets warmer. We both like to eat, so
We do like to go out to eat, and we like a good cocktail.
yeah,
I love to sit at the bar. It makes
yes,
me feel like we're like dating, just to go and
yeah,
like sit at the bar and order a drink or like an appetizer and share it. And
yeah,
we've done a few times where we'll go to like 3 restaurants and you just go to like the bar, order an app, order a drink. And that's, I think, is so fun. It's just like, it makes like your dating feel just like not stuffy and just fun. And I don't know.
yeah,
That's one of my favorite things to do.
yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Um, Quirky moments and pet peeves. Do you have any?
Do I have pet peeves? I have a lot of
Yeah.
pet peeves. Am I going to talk about my pet peeves or my husband's
Oh gosh,
peeves?
now we're going back to therapy.
Um, I don't actually. What are my pet peeves? I feel like all of a sudden I can't think of what are you go first.
Well, I will say Jared's pet peeve. We have double sinks in our bathroom. And like our bathtub is in the middle. So he has his whole separate space. I have mine. Well, when I'm doing my hair in the morning, I have the hair dryer and the curling iron or the straightener and the curling iron. So that a lot of times I'll dry my hair on his side while I leave hair in his sink.
Oh, ooh.
That is definitely his pet peeve. He hates that. I'm trying to think of anything else that would really get on his nerves. He doesn't do anything really that gets on my nerves. Um, he used to be messy when we were first married, but he's really straightened that lifestyle up a lot.
That lifestyle. Oh my lands.
Yeah, not a whole lot of pet peeves.
I think that Billy probably does have pet peeves about me, but I don't know what they are.
You might want to find those out.
I don't know that
There's
he would
nothing he
tell me.
complains about on a regular basis.
That he complains that I not apologizing. That's probably the biggest pet peeve he has about me is never apologizing. Um, I don't know what he says about. Oh, he does tell me sometimes, and it's been semi recently. He's like, "That's the Shelby face," and I'm like, "What?" And I don't know exactly what it is. And Callan has told me a couple times that he's seen it because I'm like, "What are you talking about? The Shelby face? Why are you making the Shelby face?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what this means." And Shelby's a great human. Like, what's the problem?
Well, you and Shelby have very, very similar mannerisms.
We do.
So I can definitely see how he would have that, but probably not intentionally.
No, it just sometimes mom tells me that too. I think
Yeah.
maybe if I'm doing the Shelby face, he thinks things are about to get crazy. That's my thought. I'm not sure. I don't know because I'm a little crazy, but Shelby's real crazy.
Yeah.
Um, I do have a pet peeve about him, and he knows it, and that is that he thinks and talks about work too much.
Oh,
So much work. Like,
yeah.
let's think about rainbows or something. Sunshine. Um, yeah, I don't like his stress level. I want his stress level to go down.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest pet peeve. But he doesn't do anything like leave socks on the floor, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, our bedroom is usually a little bit messy. Like there's usually clothes kind of everywhere, and it's usually all mine and not his. But we have separate closets, so everyone can just keep their chaos kind of hidden a
And
little bit. Yes. Yes. Oh, his pet peeve is if I complain about any appliance. If I tell him anything is wrong with any of our appliances, he takes it personally like he handcrafted it out of a piece of sheet metal.
He probably hates me complaining about my dishwasher.
And I'm like, but I have to tell you if something's wrong, like the dryer's not drying. No
Yeah.
offense, but we need to call service. So he does not appreciate that.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I'll have to see if I can think of any more because those are kind of funny. I'm going to ask him today. Do you have any pet peeves that
There
you
you
would like
go.
to air? Do you have any grievances that you would like to air right now? I'm going to ask him and I'll report back.
Oh,
Um, do we have any other things that we want to cover?
I don't think so.
Um, we've both been married for a long time.
A long time. 22 years in June.
No one can believe how long we've been married when we tell them.
I know.
I mean, we got married very young, and I mean, I'm not even 40 yet, and I'll be married for 19 years this year.
Yeah.
Um, so, but I think that just because you're married for a long time doesn't mean that the marriage is like a cakewalk. And I think that it's very easy for people, like, especially me, I put my whole life on the internet. I'm not going to post if I'm going to fight with my husband. And I think people often are like, hey, just show the good stuff. Yeah, because I'm not going to post that I'm pouting in my room and I refuse to say I'm sorry ever. But like, and it's everything, every marriage is not all perfect, but we all have to just strive to work hard on keeping the love alive,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
keep the spark there, because marriage is work. It's a
It's a
choice.
lot of work. It's a lot
And
of work.
and it's a daily decision to be committed to the person that you chose to commit to, because they're going to irritate you.
Yeah. To wake up in the morning and say, I don't like you today, but I love you.
That might be one of Billy's pet peeves, because I ask him on a regular basis, do you like me and love me? He'll say, I love you. And I'll say, but do you like me? But sometimes I need to hear that, like, because sometimes I'm not that likable. I don't know.
All of us aren't likable at a lot of times during our lives.
Right. And I think sometimes it is okay to say, no, I don't like you right now, but I do love you and I choose to
Yeah.
love you
Yeah. Yeah.
forever.
It is definitely a choice.
Yes. And I know that there's um times that marriages are just what do you say? Irreconcilable.
Yes.
But it does make me sad how many marriages end in divorce. And it is because life is hard. Life is
Yeah.
hard. Kids are hard. Finances are hard. Um, every day is hard. It's hard to leave. It's hard to stay, but you just have to pick your heart. And I think choosing to stay with the person, as long as it's a healthy environment, is a really, really good thing. And I hope that people are encouraged to go find out your partner's love language.
Yes.
Set an alarm in your phone in case you need to be reminded to do the things, and freaking say I'm sorry when you're wrong. And maybe
Yes.
even if you don't think you're wrong, say you're sorry. Dadgummit. I don't like this podcast episode. I am not downloading or listening to this one.
Now go buy your partner some chocolate, say you're sorry, and give them some of their love language tonight. Happy Valentine's Day!
I bought myself flowers at the grocery store yesterday.
Oh, look at you.
I could buy myself. You know why though? Because I always tell Billy, don't buy me flowers. It's such a waste of money. But then I was at the grocery store, I'm like, those are so pretty. I really love tulips. And I bought them.
Yeah. I
Billy's
still have
like,
birthday
why did you
flowers
do that?
here.
You what?
I still have birthday flowers here, so
Nice.
I won't have
Nice.
any Valentine's flowers, but they're still beautiful.
Perfect. Well, hope you wear something fancy later on tonight. Bow chicka wow wow.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us for the That's So Lame podcast.
We are so glad to have y'all here. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your Valentines, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.